I made the point yesterday to somebody who was saying, look, let's have more fairness in getting into higher education. But actually, the world's not fair, is it? We are in competition with countries like China, for instance, who have incredibly grueling standards for their civil service entry and the brightest minds attracted to it. And we are in competition with them in the global marketplace of ideas. We need the best possible minds at our best possible universities.
We absolutely do. And at the moment, it's probably a sad reflection on the state system that they're not doing such a good job, perhaps, as the private sector on the whole. We tend to get to higher levels in the private sector. That's seen in results, GCSE results. But I think, and I know Cambridge and Oxford quite well, and I've spoken at their various debates up there. And I think the universities themselves are very well-meaning. But there's a real problem here. I don't think they quite understand what they're doing, because there is an unfairness, if you want to look at it in those terms, but it's not between private schools and state schools. It's between the people who are in good state schools and those who aren't. I mean, the fact is, as Alan Milburn showed in his report a few years ago, the Social Mobility Commission, if you live in a poor area of the country, you're 27 times more likely to go to a failing school. In other words, what I'm saying is that we have selection in the state sector by postcode. And people who've got money can afford to live in a nice area, a nice school. So what Oxford and Cambridge are doing is not going to solve the problem at all, because all they're going to do is allow children from state schools more places at Oxford. But they're better state schools with the richer parents. So we've got a real problem here. We do want talent to come forward, of course. And at the moment, certain subjects state school children don't apply for. I mean, classics, for example, Latin and Greek, very few state schools, foreign languages, and even to some extent physics, because they're not getting taught. We want to solve the problem of fairness and make standards higher more generally in universities. We've got to look at the children in primary school and in preschool. We've got to get them up to a high standard. There's no way forward to say, well, we can't do that, so we're going to dumb down the examination system and we're going to give them easier ride into Oxford and Cambridge. No, we've got to raise the standards so that children in state schools are as good as children in private schools. And if you go back 50 years, when we had grammar schools mostly, then the grammar schools were producing 50% of the entrances to Oxford and Cambridge, and private schools were withering on the vine. Now we've got a comprehensive school system, a dumbed-down exam system, and we're not producing bright enough, able enough, well-taught enough students in the state sector, so we're going to make it easier for them. No, we should be raising the bar, and we should be making sure that children in the state sector are as good as, if not better than, children in the private sector. That's the problem.